Good morning students, welcome to your chemistry class. Let's continue chapter 2 physical and chemical changes from page number 11. So physical changes. What are physical changes? The changes which can be reversed by reversing the conditions, and we can say that the physical changes are temporary changes, and in this no new product formation takes place. So here are some examples of physical change. First one is the glowing of a heater or a bulb. So the glowing of a heater or a bulb is reversible in nature wise. Okay, so how? So simply you can switch on the button. By switching on, you are giving the electricity to the heater or bulb. Okay, so when you give electricity, then the heater or the bulb starts to glow. So in this no new product formation takes place. You can reverse it. How you can reverse it? You can switch off the button. So by doing so, you are cutting the power supply, means the supply of electricity, and the heater and the bulb stops to glow. So this is reversible in nature wise. Second example is the melting of a solid. Okay, so for example, ice. So ice is a solid state of matter. Okay, upon heating, the ice, means the solid state of matter, is converted to water, means the liquid state of matter. It is also reversible. It is a temporary change. How can you reverse it? So upon cooling, okay, or you can say that upon freezing, the water, means the liquid state of matter, again converted to ice, means the solid state of matter. Okay, so the melting of a solid, any solid. I give the example with ice. So the melting of any solid, it is a physical change. Next one is the freezing of a liquid. Okay, for example, the liquid I have explained, like water. Okay, so water is a liquid state of matter. So upon freezing, okay, the water is converted to ice, means the solid state of matter. Okay, so it is reversible. How can you reverse it? Upon heating. So heating is the opposite condition of cooling. Okay, so upon heating, again the ice melts and it is converted to liquid. So the freezing of a liquid is a reversible and no new product formation takes place. Hence it is a physical change. Next example is sublimation. So what is sublimation? It is a process in which the solid is directly converted to vapor form, means gaseous form. Okay, so without melting. So sublimation takes place without melting. Solid is directly converted to vapor form. Okay, this process is called as sublimation. It is also reversible. Okay, so how it is reversible? So you can collect the vapors, and upon cooling, okay, when you condense the vapors, they again converted to solid form. Okay, so sublimation is also a physical change because it is reversible and no new product formation takes place, and it is a temporary change. Okay, so next example is the dissolution of a substance in a liquid. Now, so how can you dissolve a substance in a liquid? So how can you make a solution? Like when you add solute into the solvent, then after dissolving solute into the solvent, the formation of solution takes place. Now what is a solute and what is solvent? The substance which is taken in lesser amount, that is called solute, and the substance which is taken in larger amount, that is called solvent. Okay, so when you dissolve solute into the solvent, the formation of solution takes place. For example, when you are taking 1 spoon of salt, so you are taking only 1 spoon of salt, so lesser amount, so it is a solute, and you dissolve it in 1 glass of water. So the quantity of water is 1 glass and the quantity of salt is 1 spoon. So salt is in lesser amount, okay, and water is taken in larger amount. So in this example, the salt is solute and the water is solvent, and upon dissolving, salty solution forms. Okay, there is a formation of salty solution. So this is also a physical change. How it is physical? So once you add the solute into the solvent, and once the solution formation takes place, you can reverse it. You can separate both solute and solvent again. Okay, how can you separate solute and solvent again? When you start boiling of solution, solvent starts to evaporate, like the water starts to evaporate, leaving behind the salt only. You can collect the vapors. Upon condensation, the vapors again converted to water. Okay, so you can reverse this process. Okay, you can separate solute and solvent again. So this is also a physical change. Next, please note down, when a solid dissolves in a liquid, the volume of the liquid does not change. Okay, so what is the reason for that? The reason is that there is some space between the molecules of liquid. And what is the name of that space? That space is called intermolecular space. So when you dissolve solute into the solvent, the solute particles, means the solid particles, first breaking takes place, breaking of solute particles takes place, and after breaking, the solute particles, means the solid particles, hide themselves in the intermolecular space of the liquid. Okay, so that's why the volume remains constant. Next activity is given. So figure 2.6 is given. So you can see that in this activity they are taken 1 glass of water and 1 spoon of sugar. So the quantity of sugar is less, so it is a solute, and the quantity of water is large, so it is solvent. Okay, so when sugar is dissolved in water, okay, firstly the level raised because the sugar is not dissolved properly. Okay, so initially the sugar is not dissolved properly, so you can see the sugar at the bottom. Okay, you can see the sugar at the bottom, so that's why the firstly the level raised, but when sugar dissolve, after that you can see the same level as in glass 1. Okay, so after dissolving the sugar, you can see the same volume or the same level of water, or you can say the solution as in glass 1. So this activity shows that after dissolving sugar, the volume does not change. Next is evaporation and boiling. Evaporation and boiling is also a physical change. So what is evaporation? It is a process in which water is converted to vapors but at any temperature. Evaporation takes place at any temperature, and boiling is a process in which water is converted to vapor but at particular temperature. So boiling takes place at particular temperature, but evaporation takes place at any temperature. But both of the processes are reversible in nature wise. So hence evaporation and boiling, they both are physical changes. Okay, and last one is the drying of clothes is also a physical change. So when you spread the clothes in the presence of sunlight, then the water of the cloth evaporates, and with this we can dry the cloth, but it is reversible because again we can wet the cloth by using water. Okay, so it is also reversible, drying of clothes, so hence it is also a physical change. So this is enough for today. So your homework is revise properly about all physical examples of all physical changes. So revise properly about physical changes and its all examples. So thank you very much. Have a nice day.